Right now, OPEC holds about 30% of the market. It's what it's averaged over the last 4 to 5 years. It's not as strong as it was in crises past and present. It doesn't carry as huge a weight as it does. But where OPEC is traditionally very powerful are the Asian markets. The Saudis in particular, who are the kingmakers at OPEC, have a huge market share of what gets imported by India and China and some of the other emerging economies in Asia. And that traditional stronghold is likely to continue because, let's face it, the US is producing a lot of oil, but there is no immediate prospect, especially with the US presidential election coming, of the US starting to export oil. We don't know what might happen in 2016, but it's a hugely political issue. So OPEC still has considerable clout in the world. The only thing is that the United States' biggest gift to the global oil markets is that they're not importing as much. That removes one major importer from the global markets, and that gives OPEC a headache, let's say a very big headache, is that OPEC is now more reliant on some other importers than they traditionally were.
So why is OPEC still continuing to keep production on when the oil prices are falling?
It's the simple answer: market share. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and they simply don't want market share. They don't want to return to the 1980s where they cut production only to realize that they were losing market share with the heydays of the North Sea and the Americans producing as much as they were at that point in time, and so on and so forth. And Mexico was pretty healthy at that point in time. In the 80s. So they do not, by they I mean the Saudis, the Kuwaitis, the Emiratis and the Qataris don't want to see a return to the 1980s, which ended up with OPEC losing market share. It was considerably higher than 30% at that point in time. So we have reached this 30% threshold now, and they don't want to see it lower than that. They want to remain, how shall I say, relevant in the global markets.